Real quick before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that what you're about to watch is an edited down version of a live stream that I did over on Patreon. Actually, it was the first time I ever live streamed a mountain. It was kind of interesting. If you missed out on that and you'd like to be in on the next one, you can use the information there in the description to sign up over on Patreon. Other than that, let's jump right into the video. All right, well, this is going to be our first Patreon live stream. Hopefully you're excited for it. We're a tiny bit late just trying to get everything working, but hopefully everybody found this video. Anyways, you can see I've got a basic sketch here on the canvas, and we're going to be doing a mountain, which I don't think I've ever done in a live stream, so that'll be interesting. We'll start right off using some clear gel and white, and I'm going to just paint over that sky so that I can blend my colors on top, which will be very nice. All right, a little bit more of our dark gray. That's neat. Just a basic little simple, straightforward sky today. All right, overlapping strokes. And let me set this down and grab another brush and just blend it. There we go. Get some of this mountain action in the background. It's just a soft, see that? Just soft mountain. Kind of neat colors, aren't there? Very interesting colors. Here's some mist going in. Just scrubbing with a little filbert brush. I've got these snow pockets. I'm trying to paint around them, not fill them in too much here. This is just, I'm doing nothing but painting gray and stuff. Y'all know how to do this. Just painting gray. Getting a little purple in there is nice. So see that little purple touch is great. I warm that up just slightly. There's my palette. There it is right there. Warm that up just slightly. Cool. Filbert brush, titanium white. I don't want it pure white, so I'll warm it up with just a little bit of red. A little bit of red. Cool. I think that'll work. Now, what am I doing with this? Just smush it. Just smush it down right here. See, it won't stay pure for long. That's why we have to leave these little sections of light showing. Nice. But here's what I'd like to do, because that's such a big mess. Let's take it and wipe that all off with a shop towel. Blue shop towel. Everybody here should be well familiar with the shop towel techniques. I'm gonna fold it up. This is good stuff right here. Well, let's start in the background, don't you think? Don't you love how I made that mountain just almost the same shade as the background? I'm gonna just wipe some of this off. Oh, look, do you see that? I just made snow. I made soft snow. See, there's my shop towel. You can see what's been removed. Okay, so I got my mountain wiped off, more or less. Good. I like this area. This area, we still need to develop, but I like this area. Okay, let me see that. That's good. Standing back, looking at it, overall pretty decent. Now, I could be here all day painting a mountain, so I gotta kind of figure out, what do we want to do? How do we want to establish this? How about right in here, we'll take a little bit of umber and black. Not too much, a little bit of red and a little bit of blue, a little bit of white. And as I go through here, I'm going to just punch in a couple of these like brown tones, not too much, but I don't want this is looking a little too wintry. I want to bring out some brown in it, so I'll do that. Yeah, there we go. Good. Now as I stand back, I can take a look at it and really get a feel for what it looks like. You need to be standing back about 6 feet away from your paintings when you do yours, because otherwise it's so hard to see. That's the average viewing distance for somebody looking at it on the wall, right? So that's where we want to be, 6 feet. Let's get some of this. There we go. Now a lot of this is covered by trees, but I do want to have just a little bit of this. How about some reds and some orange? I don't want, this is more of a rock. I don't want so much, maybe not as much snow on this one. There you go. See that? push all that together. Cool. All right, let's just leave that there. I know that looks a little out of place, but we're gonna tie it all together. And I'm gonna do it with a palette knife. Can you believe it? I'm gonna use a palette knife. Why? I don't know. Here we go. Take some of this, some red. What is this? It's just that paint I had down there, that shadow color for the snow. I'm gonna just put on, I'm not go crazy with the palette knife here. I'm just gonna show you how to add a little bit of detail with the palette knife that maybe would be kind of hard to get any other way. I'm gonna take that clear gel and white and just toss it so it doesn't get mixed in with the paint. Okay, so I'm gonna take this palette knife, scoop up some paint. And so like right in here, I want a little bit, I don't want too much crazy texture. I just want to show a little bit of, you know, hey, there's something going on. See how I do that? And then maybe a little tiny bit of a darker color here. Take that darker color and just smoosh it in here. I'm not trying to do the breaking technique. Maybe I'll show you one day how to, I've got old videos, you can see how to do it. I'm trying to smoosh it. I want it to look like I did it with a brush, but yet not quite. See that? Isn't that nice? I should have done this 10 minutes ago. Now down here, I'm gonna have a rock. Let's establish that rock real quick. Now that rock is going to be done with some black and with some red and with some blue. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, that's too much. So I'm gonna put some more brown in it. That rock is basically just foreground material. And take some of our umber white. And let's get kind of a, there it is, kind of an accent, not an accent highlight, but like a mid-tone on there. That's what I was trying to think of, mid-tone. I like that. The plan, ooh, see that? This is the secret to painting rocks. Anybody want to know how to paint rocks? You see how I put the dark on, but I don't put it on solid. And I'll take my light and I'll kind of mush it around the dark. That is one easy way to paint a rock. What that does for me is it really helps, me see that rock as I form it. Because sometimes it can be kind of tough to see the rock. That's one good way to kind of see it. Ooh, there we go. And then also if you're trying to do rocks instead of mountains, see how I curved it in? See how it goes out and in? That will give it the look of a smaller rock versus going out like this. Looks more like a mountain. Obviously, that's not, you know, the way it always is in nature. I'm just saying for the sake of the painting, that will help you. I'm gonna wipe that off with a shop towel. Take a fan brush, take some brown, black, you know, green, blue, red, all your dark colors. Mix them together. Okay. Yeah, looks all right. Now let me take away that, good, it fell off anyways. Take away that shop towel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully right here begin to paint a tree, just touching. These trees are, like I said, they're at tree line, so they're going to be very, very, very spindly, very rough, not super nice looking. And I'll show you how to do this. Just begin to lay some paint down. Now I'm not trying to paint each limb. I'm just laying paint down that I can use later with my detail brush. So I'm just laying, going from side to side kind of, and I do like them pointing up. Leave a little spot bare. Nice. And down here, they can get a little thicker. We'll just smush them, you know how we do. A little path there, winding around. But see, that's nice. That, to me, looks very spindly, which is kind of what I was going for. So that's good. Well, it's not kind of, it's exactly what I was going for. I just like the look of it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google trees at tree line, or you know what I mean, or mountain range at tree line. And you'll see right as the trees begin to start growing, they're super, super bad looking. They're very small. They're very small. They don't get tall whatsoever. I don't remember what tree line elevation is, 10,000 feet-ish, maybe somewhere in there. I don't know. I don't know, somewhere in there. Fan brush. Let's go ahead and get right in here our meadow in. I'm going to take my yellow, Hansa yellow, yellow ochre and white, a little touch of sap green, very pretty meadow color. And I wipe that brush out really good. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and tap. And I'm getting my distant meadow just by tapping and crunching. And look at that, instantly mixing even with this dark green that we have. I can add a little more dark green. And I'm just crunching it. And this is super straightforward. Today, I'm not gonna go crazy with it. I just touch straight into my sap green. I do have a little pathway running through here. But see, I'm tilting that brush up and that's what's giving me that nice texture. Oh, that's pretty. There, there, there. I don't know that we need to do much to that. That's decent right there. Let me get a little bit just softer. It's a little harsh there. Softer, softer. Take some of that dark and run it through there. Where did I get that dark? I grabbed it from the tree there. A little dark, pick it up from the palette. I don't know. See that? Just instantly, I've got grass. Can I highlight that grass? Maybe. It doesn't need much. Take just a little white, a little Hansa yellow. Tell you the truth, I probably put out too much Hansa yellow. Save that for another painting, maybe, if I paint soon enough. And I'm just going to sparkle that grass up ever so slightly, right there in the background. I'm going to take some umber and white. I'm running out of white, but that's all right. I've got just enough. And I want to just place in a simple road, very simple footpath, tiny. One of those, you know, in the mountains, they have the trails, and they're really no bigger than your feet. That's the size of this. There it is right there. Just simple, simple footpath. Bigger here in the foreground, even though it's small, it still needs to be just bigger in the foreground. Take some purple. Okay. And let me just get in some, well, that purple could be a little bit more red. It's kind of pretty. I'm going to take just a little bit, I don't need much highlight, but some white and yellow. Yellow ochre's okay, sap green's good, all good. And I'm going to just place on the feeling highlight, mostly outside of, here's how I'm getting it to stick, mostly outside of my dark. As soon as I go in the middle of that tree, that's going to be thick and very dark. But right here, I can get some of this to stick. See that? See how it's sticking? I'm going to add a little more yellow ochre. I think it's too green. There it is. It's pretty though. See, I don't totally get rid of my green color. That's pretty. Lots of paint. There's more paint than brush here. You could alternatively do this with a liner brush if you really wanted to. And write a little bit out on this one. Yep, there we go, there we go. Just a sprinkling of this highlight. Not, if I get too much in here, then I think it loses that evergreen look. Evergreens are fairly dark. I don't want it to lose that evergreen look. Just the corner of the fan brush with that same yellowy color. And I'm going to show you, just take it and touch it. See this? Especially on trees that aren't as important, just touch it. Just the corner. See, I'm only using the corner. Anything other than the corner is not going to work. But see, you can get really a similar look. And it just, oh, so delicate. That is, if this isn't working for you, it's because you're pushing down too hard. Now, I really don't care about these being as bright. So maybe we'll just keep them kind of toned down a little. Nice. Just reloading, same color, same thing. Nothing new. Lots of paint. I kind of have that clean side. I can go in and do some blending. Wipe off that side some more so it's cleaner. And come in here and just touch it, blend it, blur it a little. Not blur it by smudging, but just by tapping, you know? Okay, good. Yeah, see that? You get instantly, to me, that looks good. I think that's more of a natural tree anyways. So you can kind of see both ways how to do it. There, see, working at both sides. That makes sense though, doesn't it? A little repetitive here, but we're wrapping this up. Liner brush, so I've got a little bit of linseed oil. Thin it down some. I like to just grab whatever's on my palette, it's convenient. Light yellow of some kind. And I'm gonna just, not too tall, because the mountain grass doesn't tend to be as tall as like a swamp grass. I'm not trying to paint cattails or anything. I'm just gonna bring in a little bit of that detail here, just to make it feel a little bit more complete. Nice. How about just right in here, if I got just a little bit more serious with some of that detail. The tree limbs. Kind of neat, you know what? Oh, that's too much. I use non-toxic oil paint. Don't do that if you have toxic oil paint. Keep these trees fairly dark. I don't want too much contrast over here. I don't want to steal the attention away from the bigger mountains and just more important things. That's why I'm really going sparing on this area. Maybe just enough to show, hey, there's a little something in here. Nothing has just two colors, but this just doesn't need too much. Push that back a little. So there you go. I think we're finally done. I'm very happy for especially the mountain. Typically, for me, a mountain would probably take about twice as long, just a mountain. And that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, and click the like button. That helps me out a lot. Stick around, watch a couple more videos, and stay inspired.